What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Just the Betslips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only, and that is to bring you the hot tips to help your bet
bet
slips.
slips.
That's right. And we are here on this beautiful day after Pi Day. Enjoying life. We got some NCAA basketball. We got some NBA. We got a little bit of NHL in the action. And as always, we are brought to you by Fan First Sports Network. Every single member on this show is part of the Fan First Network. And as soon as we sign our contract, our podcast will officially be on Fan First Sports Network, which will be fun. But yeah, we are live here on X, on YouTube, and Instagram all at the same time. Shockingly, how we're doing that. But we appreciate everybody. If you want to go ahead and drop a comment on what you're betting on, what you're liking to watch today, feel free to go ahead and drop that in here, and we would love to have you guys join in on the fun. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and meet the cast of characters today. To my right here, who we got?
Parker White.
Yeah, absolutely. And then above him is...
Sorry, it's me. Rob, the parlay guy.
And then to Robert's left there, right on your screen, we got who's that handsome devil up there?
Poolside Patty. Ides of March. It's the Ides of March. I don't know what that means. But it is the Ides of March.
Somebody get a dictionary.
Somebody figure something out.
I have an article pulled up, but there's so many words I don't feel like getting into it. So.
Well, I mean that can happen from time to time. I understand that completely. What are? Well, I mean, we could just dive into a little bit more things here. I'm trying to make sure that the ones and twos are working correctly.
We're live on YouTube. I see it.
We are? Okay, we're Gucci. All right, sweet. Love that. Love it. We're live on the YouTube. We're live on everything. But we got some fun show for you guys today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the time. Let's see here. I'm trying to get through. Should we do the thing that makes sure we don't get sued? That's probably the smart thing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Platform, we should definitely do that thing.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. First off, we are not paid professional gamblers. This show is for fun and entertainment purposes only. Number two, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. Do not gamble more than you can afford and only bet what you can afford to lose. And number three, if gambling has become a problem because it is an addictive thing, please utilize the resource 1-800-GAMBLER is the best way for you to get the help you need for not just sports betting, but for the ponies, for the other things. Casino, that's the word I'm looking for that I couldn't find for a hot second. But yes, those are the ways that you can make sure that you are good. So first off, we are not paid professional gamblers. Second off, please gamble responsibly and at your own risk. And number three, please utilize 1-800-GAMBLER if this has addicted, betting in general. Like it releases the same chemical reaction as like drugs and things of that nature. So please utilize 1-800-GAMBLER. It gets the resources that you need if it becomes a problem. But hopefully you're doing things responsibly and and within your means, so you don't have to get there. And we are not affiliated with any sports book or sponsored with any sports book at the current time. However, if you know anybody, we'd love to know you. But yeah, that is that. Poolside. And Robert, you were on the show yesterday, and you were talking some bad beats. You know, I'm a big bad beat guy, and how I hate to love them in a way. Like it's because you have stories about your bad beats, right? What were a couple of the bad beats from yesterday?
Let's see. Well, for me again, I was talking about this earlier. I had Illinois at what was it? Plus 21.5. They lost by 23, and it cost me two different bets. So for me, that was rough.
I had one. We talked about it on the show because of our guest appearance from my guy Micah. We were went to the USGA museum yesterday. Very, very cool. I highly recommend it. Jersey is bad for a lot of things, but at least it has that. But we were sitting at the bar. We're watching. I want to find the exact game, so forgive me for this bad radio. Either way, we were watching. I'll find it, but we were watching this game, and it was. I told him, I'm like, yeah, I took the first half over. We were just sitting there having a good time. We both got it at 77.5 for the first half. Here, I can find it right now, actually. It's bad radio. Here it is. It was the Wisconsin UCLA game. It was the Wisconsin UCLA game. Over 77.5 first half. We're down at the end of the first half, maybe 7 seconds left, and they're at the line. 77. They were at 77. They're at the line. Kid misses 2 free throws.
Oh no.
That's
no.
And he blamed me, rightfully so. Blamed me, but that was my worst beat. Probably my worst beat yesterday. I probably have a couple more, but that's the one that stuck out in my head.
Like all he has to do is drain one of them.
Yeah.
Like come on, like what are we doing? What was the score situation though? Like, was he trying to miss them? There's no way he's trying to miss the first.
No, I mean it was first half. There's no way he's trying.
Oh, there's no reason to. Brutal.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, but like the game could have changed. Like I thought you were saying that was the end of like second.
And they had a shot, so I forget who was shooting free throws and who, and then it was 7 seconds. It
was first half over. My bad. Okay.
First half over. Yeah. So they're running down. Then they had like a half court shot to try and hit it, but
try to hit it and miss.
Not go in, but.
The bad beat that Robert and I had, what was that, Tuesday night when it was the Halliburton foul that wasn't a foul. I'm sorry. If y'all haven't seen this nonsense, this absolute and utter nonsense that is the Halliburton foul, I want to pull it up, but I'm not going to because it's just going to make me more mad.
He didn't allow him to land.
Parker, you shut your mouth.
Oh,
but it's what we talked about on it was Thursday, I think. Thursday we were talking about the fact that like today's games, for the podcast. If you haven't listened to the podcast, came out yesterday. So listen to that. It's on Spotify. I'm working to get it onto Apple. So if anybody's Apple peoples, but it's on Spotify. Go check out just the Betslips on the podcast. I literally talked about how I think Giannis is going to go for 35 plus today. And the Bucks are going to absolutely rout the Pacers just because of that foul. Like literally, Giannis is going to step out. He's dead straight up. Like there may or may not be ever the slightest of touching. Like
didn't allow him to land.
Like that. Halliburton's fall. He hits the deck whether Giannis is there or nobody's there. He's hitting the deck on that type of shot, and they call a foul. Halliburton, first off, makes one heck of a shot, and then the foul allows them to win it because it's the 4-point play and they're down 3. And both Robert and I needed overtime because I needed Halliburton for 15 and he needed 4 boards out of him. There was 3 boards by Halliburton in the game, and he ended up with 14 points. He had 10 before he put up that shot. So we needed him to make the shot, but not make the free throw. Send that thing to overtime. Yeah. Cost you like $50 and it cost or $70 cost me $45. Just absolutely brutal. When my units are small, $45 is a big deal.
Yeah.
So it was not fun. It was not fun whatsoever. But it is what it is. Shall we get into the fun, the safety, and the knowledge of everything that is today's show?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll start with the cutest parlay in all the land of gambling. It is the underdog slate. We got the dogs, including Kel Dog, who's not here today, but he's here in spirit, down in that bottom right-hand corner for you. We got the dog with the ears. We got the dog up here who may have done just something vindictive, and then we have my puppo, who is no longer with us, but she's the namesake of this parlay, and the only reason why it exists is because of her. And Parker remembers Emma ever so fondly.
Yeah,
they finally bonded before she passed. She did not like him at first. She didn't like anybody at first, to be very clear. But then she started to warm up to him. She'd actually come up to him and be like, "Hey, pet me."
But then cool. I watched her for a weekend. And we were good.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's true. Yep. Parker was dog sitting, and then they were the bestest of friends.
Yeah.
But we have the underdog slates. The top 2 guys up here put it in. I didn't want to touch it. I think this underdog slate, as written, is, shall I say, perfect. And so Parker and I both decided we were not going to add to the underdog slate. We were going to keep it as these 2. So, gentlemen, please take it away, starting with Poolside Pat and your Wisconsin pick.
Yes. All right. So there's a bunch of reasons why I did this. First and foremost, March Madness. There's a reason why it's called Madness. March Madness. Michigan State. Both of these teams are going to be in the tournament regardless of the outcome of this conference tournament. Wisconsin, I think, similarly to, well, not really, but similarly to the Rutgers, I'll just bring it back to them. came into the season with one of their more talented rosters in a long time. I wouldn't say that they necessarily. I'd say they performed right around what people thought they were going to perform at. I mean, they're a top 25 team. They have had a couple of brutal losses so far this season, but they finished the year 25-8. Their brutal losses came in the Big Ten, which is why they are where they are. And they're taking on a team that I think may or may not, and people can. I mean, I guess Izzo is March, so maybe not, but maybe overperformed a little bit to people's expectations. The Michigan State Spartans, who finished with a glowing record of 27-5, and only 3 losses in the Big Ten. Last time these two teams played, the Sparty took care of business, winning by 9. This was just under 2 weeks ago, about 13 days ago, March 2nd. This is going to be a dogfight. This is going to be a dogfight. Neutral ground. It's a Wisconsin team that has better scorers per se. I would say. I think they have more talented scorers. They got Tanji, the senior, who and Blackwell. Excuse me. The two. They got 2 6'4" guards who are just scoring machines. Their whole entire starting lineup averages right around 10, and with those two guys, Tanji with a 19.1, excuse me, and Blackwell 15.5. He's the big. Blackwell gets into the paint. Tanji's more of the outside shooter, and then you also have the 2 big 7-footers. They're a big team. That being said, I think Michigan State is the better coached team. I think that's kind of obvious considering who their coach is. But they're not as prolific scoring. They're how Michigan State wins games is playing tremendous defense. Mm-hmm. Tremendous defense, limiting scoring opportunities. And that being said, I think Wisconsin's going to run. They're going to try and run. They're going to try and keep it up tempo. They're going to get their scorers involved early and often, and try and slow and just mitigate what Michigan State likes to do. I think you're going to see a combination of, especially in the early going, I think Wisconsin's going to try and pound the paint with their taller guards and find a kick out 3 from here and there. And then they're just going to have to play defense. And that's been a bugaboo. I mean, as I said, they lost 82-70 to Michigan State just 2 weeks ago, about. But I saw the line. I think what's the line at? I'll find it. It's 2.5. So they're not expecting this to be some kind of blowout by any stretch. It's March Madness. Give me the Badgers. I hate saying this part, and I'll leave it on this. I hate saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Wisconsin needs this more than Michigan State does. I think Michigan State's pretty much locked up their seeding. Could they jump a seed or 2 if they win the whole thing? Yes, obviously. Wisconsin, to get themselves a better matchup, needs this more than Michigan State. Michigan State's ready to go. Wisconsin is too. Like I said, they've had a couple of hiccups, and I hate saying one team needs it more, but I'm going to be watching this game intently in just under 20 minutes, and I'm rooting for the Badgers. So give me the Badgers.
Love that. Robert, you had the Michigan plus 4.5. Remember, they either have to they just have to be not favored and we could take the spread, or them to win for the underdog slate. So
so I got Michigan at plus 4.5. I dug deep on this one. There's a lot of obvious stats. I went way down at the rabbit hole on this one. So I went and looked at the stats on these two teams playing neutral sites. Michigan has won 13 out of 14 at neutral sites on Saturday, which is a wild stat, but it is what it is. And then Maryland has lost 11 straight against ranked opponents at neutral sites. You're giving me 4.5 on a team who hasn't beat a ranked team at a neutral site in 11 straight games. I'm not running away from that at all. I also think Maryland is going to be one of those teams that's going to let a lot of people's brackets down, to be completely honest, pretty early on.
Pumpkin alert.
I think that they're a bit of a pretender, to be completely honest with you. Michigan has had a lot of battles this year, to be honest. They've been, them and Michigan State have had a lot of great duels back and forth. They feel a little more battle tested to me than Maryland does. So I'm just riding the Michigan and taking this 4.5 points and running away with this underdog win today.
Love every second of that explanation. Plus 349 on the underdog slate if you want to snag it up today. A little Wisconsin money line and a little Michigan plus 4.5. If you want to bet it and ride with us on the dog slate, go ahead and do it. 349 gets you into the door if this hits. And I actually feel really good about this. Parker is on the fence about it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But, yeah, I mean, big fan of the underdog slate today. And I think it's time that we do what Parker and I did a little bit last night at the wedding. Congratulations for let's go ahead and clap it up to the Bakers. The Bakers. Yeah. Zach and Caitlin. Yeah. Beautiful couple. Thanks for being in. We appreciate the invite, and we appreciate you allowing us to be a part of your big day. So from all of us here at Just the Betslips, congratulations on a happy marriage to the former Caitlin Stocker, now Caitlin Baker, and Zach Baker on your nuptials yesterday. It's beautiful ceremony, and even more beautiful later alcohol. But that's fine. No need to really talk about that. It was just a bunch of Tito's. Anyway, we're there.
It was nice to have pie on Pie Day.
It was nice to have pie on Pie Day.
There you
go. We talked about this during the podcast, and so we're gonna small detour again.
Yeah.
Because for everybody that hasn't gotten it, favorite pie, go.
Apple.
Apple guy.
Can't go wrong with apple. I think a not so great apple pie beats most pies. My second would be pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. So you're definitely a Thanksgiving pie guy.
With some Cool Whip. Oh yeah.
Cool Whip. You can't have pie without Cool Whip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Robert?
I'm going pecan pie, and if you can find a bourbon pecan pie, it's even better.
Ooh, now I'm wanting pie again. Parker?
I'm a big apple pie guy, and Cool Whip is great, but you put some vanilla ice cream on it, I'm in.
Vanilla. On a
Some
apple pie.
Yeah.
Just came out of the oven.
Some of us are lactose intolerant.
Some of us not going to have that. I'm a big lemon / key lime pie guy. Like you give me a good lemon meringue or a key lime pie, and that's what I destroyed last night.
Yeah,
and,
say there's key lime pie.
And I'm very proud of myself in my utter fatness that I did not go for a second piece of pie last night.
I didn't either.
Just we're gonna clap, little clap for my victory last night. I'm not going for a second piece of key lime pie. I almost did,
but you thought you could have had mine.
Parker.
He ate one piece of pie so he could have a fifth Tito's. That's all.
Correct. And actually, it was the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th Tito's. But we're not going to go into that. Not getting into the deeper part. Let's go ahead and jump right to what Parker and I were doing pretty much all night last night, and that's dancing because we were up in the club. I mean, it was a wedding, but it was like a club. And we're in the 750 Club today. We got the guy dancing here, jiving, doing this. I'm pretty sure this move popped out a couple times last night. It might not have been for me. Might not have been for me. I went with the good old fashioned staples of the lawn care. I went with the lawnmower.
Yeah, I saw that.
Definitely broke out the lawnmower. And then I definitely hit the sprinkler.
I'm definitely like a hitch. Like Kevin James, stay in your lane dancer.
Yeah, the arms at 90 degrees. Yeah,
I was never doing the Q-tip.
Never get out of your box.
Yeah, just stay right in your home there. No, because I'm married, I can do what I want. So she's like gotta go home with me. I very much did everything. I hit the supermarket shopper. The grabbing from the shelves, and I did it all. Yeah,
Parker, why is there not video of this?
That's a great question.
Because I would have destroyed his phone if there were.
That could have been the opening of the underdog.
It no longer would have been the prettiest or the cutest parlay in all of. It would not have been. But it was definitely the 750 Club. There's one rule of Fight Club, and that is you do not talk about Fight Club. Robert, what is the one rule of the 750 Club?
Tell absolutely everyone.
Everybody, your mother, your brother, your receptionist at your dentist appointment. You tell Beatrice. You tell Ethel. You tell Sister Jean when you see her at Loyola Chicago. Shout out the ultimate biddy and Sister Jean.
You tell the wife at the wedding. You tell the wife at the wedding.
You tell the bride. You tell the groom. You tell all the bridesmaids. Which that was another thing that Parker didn't try to dabble in that well either.
Hand of accountability.
That's Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Like that's what you go to. It's the bridesmaids. Like what are we doing? It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm just slightly. Anyway, let's go.
Disappointed. You're disappointed.
Just disappointed in you, Parker. It's fine. Let's get into the 750 Club. I'm pretty sure it is how they're listed or how we bet them today, how we are stacked is how they're on here. So, Robert, start with your Hartenstein 25+ pro.
Yeah, so I got Hartenstein. We got Chet and Jalen are both out. He's averaging just under 1 pro per minute. He is scheduled to play somewhere around 30+ minutes. So that's already putting us over this total. And he has hit this in, 7 of his last 8 that's the wrong stat. 2 of the last 3 that these 2 were not in the game. He hit over 25 pro. So I feel good about this one today. It's a good game script for him, and he's going to be playing a ton of minutes, so he has no reason not to hit this.
I'm definitely going my Hartenstein double and like Knicks to cover today too. It's not on the tabletop or anything later, but I usually went with him to go over 8 boards and over 8 points. And then that, but I think double is definitely in play today for him. Big fan of the 25+ pro as well. Poolside, what do you got? Alabama on the juice?
Alabama, roll tide. Shout out Rob.
Roll tide.
I mean, look, it's another small spread.
High tide, guys. High tide.
Two teams 100% to watch in the tournament. Just in general, I do think Florida's been one of the best teams in the country this whole season. But there's one thing I can say about Alabama is they are the best team when it comes to scoring points in the land, averaging, I believe, 91. I have it right here, but it's escaping me. 91.4 points per game this season. Florida has good D. Out of the last 15 games, though, the Tide have been held to fewer than 80 points only once in their last 15, and that was against the stout Tennessee Volunteers defense. And in 10 out of those 15 games, they've hit 90. If Alabama puts up 90, I don't see a way that Florida wins, if I'm being honest. Florida can score too. I mean, they are 100. I mean, they beat Missouri 95-81 last night, and they shot 62%. And they too, one defense that stifled Florida was the Tennessee Volunteers. I don't know. Obviously, I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over first half and taking the over in general. But there's one thing that does need to be stated is that Bama is starting to play defense, which is going to be difficult. They 99-70 over Kentucky last night, which is one of their best. And Kentucky's no slouch when it comes to scoring. And Bama held them to 38% from the field. They rebound. They get second chances. It's not going to be easy, but 2.5 on the spread. I said, you know what? I'm not going to worry about those spreads. I'm taking Bama to just roll tide and outright win this game. And I thought that was a perfect addition to the least kept secret parlay in all of sports gambling, the 750 Club.
Big fan. Parker,
who's Hartenstein play for again? Sorry.
He's the Knicks. He plays for the Knicks.
Oh.
No, he's not the Knicks. Sorry. He's not the Knicks anymore. Yeah, he got Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah, he's with the Thunder.
He's with the Thunder. Pick the Thunder. Lightning in the Thunder.
You still got party in your blood right now.
I do. I know.
Right?
1,000%. Yeah. I'm supposed to be on vocal rest after everything I did yesterday.
You got some singing to do soon.
Yeah, I sing tomorrow at church. I sing tomorrow.
You need to take a little breather.
I gotta be on vocal rest for sure. Parker, go ahead with your Duke pick.
All right, I'm taking Duke money line. It's gonna be tough. There's no doubt about it. Like Cooper Flagg is not playing in this game, who's clearly the best player. They beat Louisville back in December by 11. Duke has won 10 in a row as it stands. I think they're just destined to win this ACC championship. But Louisville, I mean, look, they're a problem. They're a good team, and like honestly, like Duke, yes, they were up like what 23 in the second half. They almost lost if it wasn't for a lane violation, but they won. They beat North Carolina again. Let's go, and I think they got Louisville today. I think they're destined to win the ACC championship even without Cooper Flag. So I'm taking Duke money line.
I mean, yeah, it's the Cooper Flag thing. If I'm Duke, honestly, after winning versus UNC yesterday,
yeah,
I'm sitting Cooper Flag.
Oh yeah, he's not going to play the tournament.
No, there's no way. Yeah.
And so that's what makes this a little tough. But I do agree. I think they can.
The good thing for Cooper Flag is whenever he sprained his ankle, like they took him back for some imagery on the ankle. He came back out to the sideline, wasn't wearing a boot. He had his shoes laced up. Like I'm not saying he was going to go back out there, ready to go back out there, but like he wasn't in a walking boot. So that gives me confidence that by the time the tournament starts, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense for sure.
They might even keep him out until after they win the 1-16. Like,
I was gonna say they don't need him in the beginning of the tournament either. To be honest,
they don't.
Too. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
it looks so bad. We talked about it yesterday, but I'll just like he is lucky he didn't break. Like if you watch the replay,
oh yeah,
so bad.
It looks brutal. Yeah. It definitely looks brutal. I will say this though, like in all fairness, no matter what happens, like he'll be fine long term because it's not a break. Like sprains take longer to feel normal again.
Yes, right. Correct.
But they're not like you can play on a sprain. You can do stuff on a sprain. It's just it like every once in a while you're just like, oh,
it's gonna hurt for a while.
Yeah.
Whereas a break, if he broke it, he would be done for the.
He's done, but like in 6 months, he'd be back and it'd be like nothing happened.
Honestly, if he can gut through this and they win it all, what a story. I have to say have to say that. And I know he's the best player in the country, but like still.
And I'm not saying this as a Duke fan, but I think he's more and more like he might come back for next year only because I know him and his family are looking at, okay, who's going to get the number 1 pick? Because if I don't want him to play for that team, he's going to come back. So like if he doesn't want to play for the Hornets or the Wizards, which I understand even as a Wizards fan, he might come back to Duke because he wants to come back. But like, I mean, look, the best business decision is to go to the NBA. No doubt.
Because it's NBA. Like,
but because of NIL,
like
he can stay and still make money and play for Duke.
Yeah,
this
and that's
injury
the other piece
has to make him think. This injury has to make him think.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
I could have blown my knee out, and
let me go get my cash at the NBA.
Let me go be the number 1 pick now.
Yeah, that's the piece. Like for NFL with NIL, NFL deals are going to take a little bit of a back seat.
Yeah.
But NBA, because of how much money is there, even for middling guys,
right?
Like let's just look at a guy who's gotten like 4 contracts in the NFL, who arguably we would say is the best at his position. Kyle Juszczyk, fullback of the 49ers, is on a 2-year, $8 million deal. You're like the 10th player on an NBA bench is getting that deal.
Yeah.
Versus the best fullback in the league.
Right.
Like, and you're looking at like the best wide receiver in the league is making what, $30 million a year.
I do want to say one thing though about Cooper Flag, and this is I mean this 100%. If it is Washington and you get a guy named Flag, I mean, come on.
That is pretty good.
All season as a Wizards fan, I'm thinking, okay, let's lose as many games as we can, get the number 1 pick, and draft Cooper Flag.
The possibilities of Flag in Washington I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start talking about the final game on this slate. And it's St. John's, arguably the dark horse of the NCAA tournament itself.
I love St. John's.
And they've been playing phenomenal all year. They've been doing a lot of really good things all year. And they cover the spread at the 9th best clip in all of college basketball. There's another team that's here that covers the spread a lot, and that's UC San Diego, who I have on a separate bet. That is a 3-leg parlay of St. John's, Duke, and UC San Diego as a 3-leg parlay. It gets you plus 402 if you want that one. Took Duke on the money line because I don't overly trust the spread, but I like San Diego to cover and I like St. John's to cover because they are two of the best teams to cover. And I would throw VCU on there if you're not in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah.
But I cannot bet on that in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yeah.
And I would bet the VCU cover and VCU over because they cover the overs of the 5th best slot and they cover their lines at the 10th best spot in all of college basketball. So just throwing that one out there as well. Go ahead, Pat. Yeah.
Is that parlay you just said on your tabletop?
The St. John's, Duke, UC San Diego.
Yeah.
It is not, but I can. I mean, it's going to be tracked.
Can you just say it again for me?
Yeah, St. John's minus 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Duke money line.
Okay.
UC San Diego minus 5.5. I got it at plus 402.
I'm doing that, but I'm adding Houston money line just for.
Ooh, that's a solid pick too. I don't hate that either. But if you want to ride the 750 club with us, we're just over the 750, but we always promise you at least 750 out there. Plus 771 on CraftSings if you want to get it there. I can't get the 25 plus pra on Can Fuel, so that's why we wanted to make sure we get that. I can get it at 28 plus, and if we do 28 plus, let me do that real quick, and I can give you what 28 and a half is, so 29 plus.
And the 800 spot.
Yeah, it's probably it's somewhere in that somewhere in that realm, somewhere in that possibility range. Let me remove this, and we will add the other. So when we have it again, doing things on the fly, bad radio, as somebody said earlier.
Yep.
Okay. It is plus 965 if you go Hartenstein over 28 and a half with the rest of this. I'll throw a schmeckle on it. Why not? So if you want it that way, you can get it at like 980. But if you want the Hartenstein 25 plus, go a little bit more conservative on the Hartenstein action, then you can get it at plus 771. But now it is time, gentlemen. And it's gonna look a little different because we have 2 of these today because someone is going ham in the March time and is the first guy. He is going to start the points. It is green. It is soft and plushy. It is the tabletop. Oh, there it is. And the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. 60%. What do you got for us today?
Hey, so far so good on the month of March, so I'm gonna keep it rolling. The
first that by records, yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. The first 4 there are completely honest with you. I want it. These are all 1:00 games. ESPN Plus does which I'm not sure if all these games are on there, but if they are, has a cool feature. I haven't been able to get it on the TV, but if you have like an Xbox or PlayStation and you put up ESPN Plus, you could do like a quad box. I think YouTube TV does that too if you have YouTube TV.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they definitely do it for NFL Sunday Ticket. No free ads, but
so I'm gonna have all 4 of these up most likely, and I'm just gonna root for points in the first half because if I hit 2 of them, then I have a couple extra. I have a little bit extra to play with going into the rest of the day. I just love it. I know it's not a sound strategy; it's a bold strategy, Cotton, as they would say. But I just love points. I love March, and it's all just the 1:00 games. Start off the afternoon with rooting for points for every single game. I just thought was fun. So as you can see there, it's all the 1:00. Tennessee, Auburn, everything that's just about to start, if not already started, over 65.5. South Carolina State and Norfolk State over 66.5. Wisconsin, Michigan State. That's the one I'm going to be watching the closest because it pays the most. Over 68.5, and then Loyola Chicago. Shout out Sister Jean, and VCU, the team, the game that you guys can't bet on down there. Over 64.5. Getting into my normal picks, talked about Wisconsin money line. It's on my tabletop as well as it's on the underdog slate. What can I say? Sister Jean's 105 years old, which I still can't believe. That still never left my brain and will never leave my brain until she's passes peacefully from this earth one day, hopefully at 106. But it's just can't go against God and Sister Jean. So give me 9.5. Bama money line. Talked about that. Roll Tide. Let's go. If I'm being honest, and I think maybe we don't have to necessarily start doing this right now, but I like the idea of like after we talk about all of our picks, it could be after the whole tabletop is done or just your own. You pick your one favorite bet on your whole slate to just maybe put a star next to it or something. Sure. I've been riding the Cougars. I mean, I know Kel does that a lot more than I do, but I definitely like the Houston Cougars 5.5. They have been letting me down. They didn't yesterday. They blew out. I forget who they played, but they blew out whoever they played. I needed them 17.5 the game before, which they won by like 6, and then they had 6.5 and they won by like 20 yesterday. So it's like the tale of two Houstons. They play such good defense and they can finally score in bunches. Love Houston. That's one of I have them already to win the whole thing. St. John's, I'm right there with you, CJ. It's a home game too. They're a team to be reckoned with for sure. Not just in this tournament. I think they run away with this tournament. Hopefully, I'm gonna knock on wood because hopefully I didn't just mush them. But I think they run away with the tournament, and I think that they're going to be a team to definitely keep an eye on when it comes to the big tournament. UC San Diego, you mentioned it. I like them at 5.5. I've been riding them all day. This is actually game. So it's UC Irvine and UC San Diego. So rivals. And I think both teams can very well be Cinderellas to watch in the tournament. Because I don't believe either one necessarily needs to win the tournament outright to get in. But, I mean, obviously that would help because it's an automatic bid. But I think a lot of people have been talking about UC Irvine as being a team to watch at a lower seed. And I obviously mentioned UC San Diego in our podcast. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Drops every Friday where we have a topic right now that we discuss, and then we give picks for the weekends. And then last but not least, the pick I certainly gave for the weekend is Knicks. I picked them to win on the pod, but I am taking them with the points in Golden State. It's a primetime game. It's going to be on wherever they have primetime NBA now. I forget what it is, TNT or ESPN. I forget which one. ABC, one of those big networks. It's on it.
One of those networks.
Yeah. So give me. I wanted to be a little bit bold and take the money line, but I think I'm being bold in other places today, so I decided to take the 7 points.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you in one.
My favorite bet is Bama. Go Bama. That's my favorite bet.
Go Bama. It's a favorite bet. Favorite bet. Got it.
Roll
Absolutely. Tide. Yeah, roll Tide. I did have to make one correction in a place, so I got to pull down and then switch and then view, and then we're going to go ahead and pop this back up now as we have the other three. Rob, the parlay guy, what do you have for us today?
All right, we got Karl Anthony Towns over 14.5. That's not pros, rebounds and assists, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, keep talking. I'll fix it.
Yeah, it's all good. So the Warriors are the third worst team in allowing rebounds to centers. So that by itself, when he plays 30 minutes, he's hit this in 80% of his games. And this is 3 points lower than the average. So the over-under is kind of low for some odd reason. I don't know why. So I feel really good about him getting over this 14.5 rebounds and assists. Secondly, so me and CJ are gonna have a little bit of a disagreement on this one, but I've got Giannis under 30.5 points. So here's the thing. The stats back this up, but that doesn't take in the revenge factor of the Halliburton foul. So I'm going to say he's going to get 29 points and the Bucks are going to win by 30. So, and that leads me into the Bucks money line. That leads me into the Bucks money line. I think the Bucks are going to walk away with this one. They are bitter from the way the last one ended. They had control over that game for the most part and lost a little bit at the end. And then they had the 4-point play out of nowhere that didn't really exist that cost them that game. They're actually more healthy than they were in that game. They've gotten some players back. So, go back to the Giannis. The reason I like the under is because he hasn't hit it in 12 of 13 games. And the Pacers allow less than 2.5 3-point attempts against power forwards. Power forwards, not made, but attempts. They don't even allow power forwards to get 3-point shots off. So I think it's hard to get 30.5 if you're not making threes, but that doesn't take in revenge. So we're like I said, we're gonna rock Giannis at 29 points and the Bucks win. I think I got this at plus 4 something. I put it in the thing. I don't remember what it is now.
450 something.
450, yeah, plus 450. Sorry, like.
Oh wow, that's a good.
Yeah, 450, 452, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in 1,000% in on that. Let's go ahead and jump to the next guy, and that's me. I've got 2 parlays. I ended up that was the change I had to make. Was I put that parlay
Oh,
that
nice.
I had, and I put it on so anybody can actually see it.
Nice.
But I have St. John's in a couple parlays today. I have St. John's minus 6.5. I'm a big fan of this. I have the Alabama Florida over 173.5. And then I have the Miami, Ohio, Akron over at 159.5. I can share some reasons why I like that. Give me a second, and I will give it to you. Listen, it's St. John's. It's just St. John's is the. Do I need to say more about St. John's? No, I don't. It's Patino.
No.
It's Patino. That's really all you need to know.
Yeah.
For the Alabama, Florida though, the ACC has just been the SEC has been an insane conference for offense. And they've hit the over in 10 of 12 conference tournament games so far in the SEC. The last time Florida and Alabama played, they killed this line, by the way. It was 99-94 last time these two teams played. Alabama is they're first in DPI with tempo, and they're 4th overall in total offense in the NCAAs. And Florida is going to make a good game out of this. Florida ranks higher than Alabama in offensive efficiency and can pretty much score with anybody in the entire SEC. So I feel like this game is going to easily be over 174 or 173.5, excuse me. And then the Miami, Ohio, Akron game, while there's a little less offense, there's a little less defense in this game. So just lack of defense kind of leads to offense. And I feel like this can definitely go to the situation of 80 to 80, 81 to 79. Somewhere in there gets me the cover, and that's all I really need. Akron also ranks top 56 in field goal percentage, 3 points per game made, 3-point percentage, and total scoring percentage. So I feel like this over just makes sense. The over is cashed in each of the last 2 meetings between these two teams as well. And it's a tournament game, so they're going to get the job done and try to put the ball in the hoop. So I like that. We already talked about that. St. John's at UC San Diego and Duke. And then I go to the association. I've got the Pistons plus 4.5 and Cunningham 40 plus pra today. Cade Cunningham is the gas that makes the Pistons go.
He's a beast.
And he's doing a lot of really, really good things there. Heck, he scored 38 points the other night, just points. And the man's been an assist factor in Detroit as well. It's going to be 40 plus pra from Cunningham tonight. And then instead of just going points, because Giannis can do it on the boards and through assists as well, give me Giannis 50 plus pra and the Bucks to win tonight. I feel like Giannis could have a field day today. I said it on the podcast. I think he goes for 35 plus, but in solidarity with my boy Rob up top, I decided to take the pra action at 50 plus because I feel like Giannis could both do it with his own hands or through the hands of others. So give me the assists and the rebound action as well. But those are the 2 performance doubles for the association tonight that I have as PD King. I must have them. Parker, what do you have, my man?
All right, I'm going to the ice. I'm taking the Caps money line. They're the best, arguably the best team in the NHL. They're playing good ball. They play the Sharks tonight. And I'm also doing a parlay where Tom Wilson 2+ points, Ovechkin anytime goal scorer, and Dubois 2+ shots. I feel really good about it. Caps don't let me down whenever I do place bets on them. And then I'm going Michigan State minus 2.5. I'm sorry, Pat. But I mean, you can't doubt Tom Izzo this time of year. And I think Jaden Atkins, who's the top scorer for Michigan State, I know he's averaging only like 12.9 points, but when they played Wisconsin earlier this year, he had 19 points. I think he's going to give you at least 20 tonight. And I'm riding with Michigan State. I know they're playing the game in Indianapolis, but I mean, yes, they're technically the home team, but I feel really good about Michigan State. They're having a great year. So give me Michigan State minus 2.5.
I mean, listen, I don't hate the Sparty pick, But there's only one way he loses because he's got the underdog bet too. So if Sparty wins by 1 or 2, that's the only time he loses out on that. So,
That's
but
true.
I that's the only bet I don't like on your tabletop, to be very clear.
Okay, that's
The
fair.
I like Sparty. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
think Wisconsin just poses a little bit different of a matchup for them because like Wisconsin loses to smaller, more athletic teams. Sparty's not quite that.
Yeah, true.
Wisconsin's big, man. They are.
Yeah, they are big, but they lose to smaller teams that are more athletic. Hence the reason why they let Oregon. Or Oregon beat them. Like Michigan State isn't the quickest of teams from what I've seen.
Correct.
But they're very methodical. So I feel like they'll definitely, it's definitely going to be a good game regardless of how you play it. But they're definitely a more methodical. They're not a run style. Like Wisconsin gets beat by people that put pressure on them and like to play fast, and that's what Oregon did, and that's the reason why. I think that's Wisconsin's last loss, or one of their last losses was against Oregon in bad fashion.
It is 13-4 Sparty right now, so 13-7.
Okay, see, yeah, it's early. It's early. We're not worried about it.
I do feel good about the Caps. Like they don't let me down. Ovechkin's going after Gretzky, and I think he's going to get you a goal tonight. So
do you have that parlay numbers, Parker?
I have it. It's
plus
plus 8 something.
I think it's
I was going to say that looks
8-12.
Now it's 850.
I think I'll probably ride that. I'm also going to ride Rob's. Just saying.
I don't blame you.
And I already rode the one that you gave, CJ. So I'm on something of everybody's today.
Got a little piece of everything. My favorite bet is probably that middle parlay, to be clear, or the Cunningham Pistons one. I also have Hartenstein double in a Thunder win because I think the Thunder win, but I think the Pistons cover. Hence the reason why I took the Pistons plus 4.5 in the performance double. But I took the Bucks money line because I don't know if they cover. Honestly, I don't know if they cover versus the Pacers, but
you just need them to win. Yep.
I just need them. I just need the dub, so that's what matters. Anybody have a last call before we drop in the records?
I mean, I want to, but I kind of already said it on the podcast, so maybe I'll just reiterate it just for people that might not have seen.
Or maybe you just tease it.
And if you didn't hear the podcast, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, that is true.
Agreed.
All 57 of you that are in here, what are you doing with your life?
It's Friday morning. It drops every Friday morning. You can listen to it on your way to work while you're making breakfast. You can listen on your lunch break. You can listen when you get home. We got topics that are going to be topical for the whole weekend or more. We're giving you games picks for the weekend. We're going to expand with segments and different things, but right now we kind of like how we're doing it with a big topic and then our picks. We're going to keep expanding. We're new. We're only 3 episodes in. Last episode was the best episode we've ever done. Go listen to it. You can still go listen to it, and it'll be topical.
You can list all 3 of them. You list all 3 of them.
Yeah,
they're still there. They're not going away.
Yeah.
No, and they're all topical right now. They're all
yelling at me.
We talked MLB. We talked MLB. We talked right
free agency, a little NFL. Yeah, a little NFL
MLB,
free agency.
NFL free agency, and then last
got heated.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what we do. You gotta. Not everybody's gonna agree on here, okay?
No, it's not. No, you're right.
Yesterday was the most civil of the 3, but
it was. But I mean, we still had some discourse though. I thought your Michigan State pumpkin pick was.
Yes, you did not like that.
Woo, that was fire. I'm a big fan of Sparty in the tournament. I'm a big fan of Sparty in the tournament.
Yeah.
So my last call though, I'll just reiterate it: Houston Cougars. For Cal and his biddies are going to win the national championship this year.
Cougar versus Cougar action was yesterday, right? With the BYU.
Right?
That was Cougar on Cougar action.
And it got spicy.
It did get spicy. It definitely 1,000% got spicy. Good old Ethel and Beatrice were all about it.
I think I saw Cal. I think Cal he jetted real quick after.
No, 1,000%. Yeah, he grabbed a flight. He was like, I'm gonna take my writing money and get a flight to go to that game.
Yeah,
they did Bettyville, Cougar versus Cougar action. That's gonna end the show today. But we appreciate you all. Let's go ahead and pop these records up. Mr. 52.4% is where he's at right now.
That's great.
Stat guy Tom having himself a absolute march.
Yeah, great march.
Rob the parlay guy, even though he is 3-4 on the parlays, he is plus money. So you're making more money if you're riding with him. Unfortunately, I have not been good because the bets that I am actually, me personally, I am up in the month of March, but my records, my bets that I have given to you all are down because I did not give you a couple of my big winners over that 3-game stretch where I was on fuego. I was fire that weekend, and I didn't do it for you, the fans, and so for that I take accountability and I put myself.
Let's catch fuego going into the tournament. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get some fuego. Let's get to the tournament.
Captain Underpants. Yeah, we don't claim him right now.
Yeah, we're not claiming him right now. He isn't here. He's dealing
His
with
new
the
name is
Cougars.
Captain Under Units.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Under a lot of units too.
We love you, Cal. We love you, Cal.
He is down. Yeah, he is down bad right now. He's also had. He had. I think. What was it? 5 straight bets that he lost via the hook.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel that way.
Like, and bad. Like it was like bad. Like when you lose via the hook, and it was like something stupid, like shouldn't have happened. He could have gotten a push if it weren't for like just a random, and that was another one too. He had 5 straight he lost by the hook, and then he lost the next one where it was like just a useless 3 that got put up and fell, and he got hammered on it. So like, yes, that 14-25, that is his actual record, but like he could very easily be like 14, 17, and 7. Like,
yeah. He could have like a million pushes.
Yeah, getting beat by the hook is pretty
You know
rough.
what? I'll say it, and I'll say this for him. I know we were just ragging on him for a second, but he had an amazing tournament last year on the other show that we did. So
Yep.
I'm not worried about Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be on the green side of things coming up here shortly. So definitely look forward to that. But that's going to wrap it up for the show today. Thanks to everybody for coming out for just the Betslips. Tomorrow we're going to be doing 2 lives tomorrow. We're going to be doing the regular live around noon tomorrow. So come check that out. I will be in late to that live, but I'll be here. I'll give my picks late. I got to sing at church tomorrow. So I'll be in late for the live, but then we are going live again on Selection Sunday, like tomorrow during the Selection Sunday show. And we're going to be talking about every single bracket, what we feel like is going to win, what's going to lose. And then we are going to post that as a podcast too. So that will be another podcast that we will post. So it'll be live and it will also be on the podcast train. So definitely looking forward to that, but that's going to wrap it up for today's show. It's just the Betslips, where we promise you one thing and one thing only: to bring you the hot tips to help your Betslips. All right, everybody, have a great one, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night.